Guys, it's your girl Angel Sky coming at you for Teen Mom Talk Tuesday. So yesterday aired the episode of the famous Teen Mom 2. So today we are going to talk about it, we are going to discuss it, and we are going to spill some tea. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so first up on the agenda is Leah. So Leah got Leah's daughter Addie. She got to finally spend some QT with her dad, and let me just tell you, it was obviously much needed. Did you see her reaction after she was done with her dad and she spent some time with her dad? It was like her whole mind frame changed. She felt better. She felt more special. And it was just a beautiful thing to see. She was so excited. She said she had such a good time. She saw her daddy's new home, and it was just so nice to see her spend time with her dad, because that's what she's been wanting this whole time. So for her to finally get that, it was just really cute to see. So I'm not gonna lie, with Leah, I would kind of feel a little bit nervous, I guess you would say, because you're on a TV show and your life is very mundane. It's very like day to day the same thing. And I would be kind of worried that I'd be pushed by MTV. So I feel like if I was Leah, I would kind of want to push some drama in the life, have some suspense, some razzle dazzle, because it's kind of like I'd be kind of worried about my job, and that's kind of her only source of income. So I think I'd be a little bit more dramatic in my day-to-day life, just to make it, very eye-catching, because I'd be a little bit worried about my job at that point. And not to say that isn't a great thing, that nothing is happening to her in her day-to-day life, because that's awesome. If you don't have any drama and you don't have anything going on, that's kind of a good thing, but not so good for like TV and ratings and promotions and things like that. So, but as always, I'm so happy for Leah. I'm so happy for her relationship. She looks very happy. She looks very settled. She looks very comfortable in the position she's in right now. So it's really good to see her focusing on everything that she needs to focus on. So that is it for Leah. There's not too much tea to spill. I can't make tea up if there's no tea. On to Chelsea. I'm pretty much just going to say, get him Cole. Like, go get him Cole. As soon as Chelsea told him what was going on, he picked up his keys and he ran right over there like he wasn't playing any games. How adorable was that to see? How adorable was that to see Cole so worried about Aubrey, and so, worried about her being in that situation, and for her to understand a court order and grown-ups to not understand the court order, that doesn't make any sense. Aubrey is literally 9 years old. She understands that she cannot be with her father when she is over her grandmother's house. If she can understand this concept, why can't adults understand this concept? It is literally a court order. This is not the first time you're hearing this. This is a problem that's been happening back to back, and you still let it slide. Adam was there. If you know it's your weekend with Aubrey, why not say, hey, Adam, it's my weekend with Aubrey. If you could just give me a heads up so that when you're on your way, I can make sure, to let you know and wait it out until Aubrey leaves. Don't have Aubrey leave and then expect to come back and come get her. It doesn't work like that. Like, it's so sad to see that her own grandmother doesn't understand like the traumatizing thing she's doing to her own granddaughter. So I don't blame Chelsea for going on a little break, because she's obviously not understanding this concept. So why would I have my daughter there when you don't understand simple concepts? So I'm really glad that Cole was able to speak to Aubrey in the car and make her kind of understand the situation and what's happening, because I think it's really scary for kids when they go through certain things and they see certain things, and us as adults don't realize that sometimes we have to kind of break it down and have them understand so that they're less worried going forward. Great job, Cole. You're so amazing. I love you so much. Chelsea is such a great mother. Aubrey is such a good daughter. Like, I just love their family. And I'm not just saying they're beautiful people. I'm saying they're beautiful people, like, inside and out. They're just amazing. So on to Brianna. So Brianna went to Puerto Rico, and I think that their relationship is honestly amazing. Like, Brianna and Devon have come a long way. They have changed and grown so much. And I think people look at their relationship and be like, oh my gosh, you went on a vacation with your baby dad. Yes, but I think that it's so rare nowadays to have such a good relationship, excuse me, and such a good bond with your baby father and your baby mother, that I think it's rare for people to see, but I think it's a beautiful thing. I think if you can go on a vacation with your daughter and just as a mother and father, not have anything to do with like intimacy or anything, just based off of you wanting the best thing for your daughter, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing for them to be able to come together, go on vacation, have a good time, not fight, not argue. Like, Nova is going to really appreciate that. Even though they have their own situations and their own relationships, they still put that aside to do what's best for their daughter. And that is amazing. And that's how you know they've come so far, not only just in their relationship, but in as a person, as people. They've come so far, and they've just gotten over certain things, and you know, they just really accept the person the way they are and move on from there, because ultimately it's the best thing for Nova. So they're amazing. That's awesome. Also, they sat down and they talked about Nova changing her name. They sat down at dinner to talk about it, and Nova really wasn't like concerned at all about it. She's like, okay, like, what do you mean you want me to change my name? I guess she really doesn't understand the full concept of changing your name, and I think it's not really a big deal to her. And I think she just doesn't understand what a name entirely means because she's so young. So for you to be able to take your father's name and pass that on, or to take your mother's name and pass it on, I think it's a concept that she'll understand as she gets older, how important it is. And maybe she will just hyphenate it. Maybe she'll just make it De Jesus / Austin. Either way, she's still taking the name. So I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's amazing that they're not rushing her into this situation, and they're just kind of taking it step by step to see how she feels. On to Janelle. So it's kind of hard for me to speak about Janelle just because I don't really know what happened yesterday with Barbara. So she went to New York to meet Jace's father, Andrew, but he never showed up. So I'm a little bit confused about that, because when he called 2 hours later, he pretty much said, what do you mean? Like, I told you I was going to Florida. I told you that my dad was sick and I had certain circumstances that I had to take care of. So it kind of seemed to me that it came out of left field. So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know which way to turn as far as this goes. And I don't want to talk smack about him. I don't want to talk smack about Barbara. I feel like this was a big miscommunication between the two, and that maybe he didn't speak to Barbara directly. Maybe he was speaking to like a producer or texting somebody, because the lines got crossed to where he was in Florida, she was in New York, and they never ended up to meet to talk about Jace. So I'm not sure if I fully want to like blame him for that, because like I said, the way he made it seem was like he had told her this, and it was just a big miscommunication. So either way, as I said, I know Barbara. He pretty much lost his chances. There won't be another chance to reconcile for a very long time. But hopefully this will give like the mother maybe a chance to get to know Jace. Maybe they can meet up. Maybe they can go to Florida. Maybe they can meet her, because who doesn't need a grandmother? Like, grandmothers are the best. Like, they're the best of the best. So hopefully he can get another grandmother, more support. He can go to Florida, you know, maybe for his vacations, or maybe over summer break, or, you know, whatever. So hopefully that kind of relationship works out, because I feel like Jace just needs some positive people in his life, more positive people, more family. Like, that never hurt anybody, right? So if you saw the clip for next week's episode, when that whole peace offering happened, and then apparently Janelle lit up her backyard on fire, like, what is happening? Can we adult? Like, just for a second, can we just be adults for 1 minute? Number one, understand that your kids are going to go to school and they're going to hear about the show, or maybe when they get older, they're going to watch it for themselves. Do you really want your kid seeing you light your backyard on fire because you're mad at somebody? We need to start being a little bit more grown about our choices and some of the actions that we have, because it is going to affect people. And I don't think you realize how much it's going to affect people until it actually does. And I don't want that. I don't want to see that for her kids. Like, grow up. If you have a problem with somebody, speak to them, or just say, you know what? I don't like you. You don't like me. Let's keep it at that. Keep it pushing. And then that's it. We don't have to keep going back and forth with this, or, lighting our backyards on fire and being so extra. Like, calm down, take a seat, take a breath, and then think about what you're going to do moving forward as an adult, not as a little child who's going to throw a tantrum. So, talking about Kaylin, on to Kaylin. So I was so glad to see that part to Kaylin yesterday. I don't think I've seen that part to Kaylin in, I don't even know, 10 years. Like, it's been so long since I've seen that vulnerable, compassionate side to Caitlin, and for her to actually cry on the episode, like, was astonishing. Like, I literally couldn't believe what I was seeing. She was literally crying. Not only crying, but she was crying about a man. So number one, she really truly has feelings for this man. And number two, she's really going through it. And it was just nice to kind of see that she is a person that has feelings, because she just puts on this very hard front and this really tough shell. And I know she has it. I know it's inside of her. You just never get to see it. So that just makes me have like a little bit more compassion for her, a little bit more understanding for her situation. I feel like she just needs to do that more often. Like, I feel like people would have like a lot more understanding and compassion for her if she would show that side to her more often. Not only that, but they need to talk about this, because they do have a kid. And if they're going to have a relationship moving forward, that needs to be spoken about. You guys don't need to have this unspoken weird tension thing happening. You just need to learn to communicate again. That is like the one thing I always say about Caitlin. Communication is key to any great relationship. Communication, and communication alone. So if you do want to have something more with him, or you do see a future with this man, sit down, talk to him about it. Get to know where his head is at, get to know what you want, what he wants, and then you guys can kind of like talk about it from there. But if you're not going to say anything, you're just going to keep walking around with this resentment, it's not going to make for a good base to your relationship. So I think something's got to give. I know she's doing a lot in the relationship, and she just kind of wants like reciprocity. Completely understandable. So I just feel like she needs to show that side more often and stop being, like having such a hard shell. She just needs to break it up and show people that she's loving, she's compassionate, she's understanding. And I would love to see them together. Like, I would love to see her and Chris together, because I think they really do. She really does have deep feelings for him. And I really feel like, well, number one, they make adorable babies. Look at Lux and his little man bun. It's like the cutest thing ever. So I would really like to see them get together, and I know how Kaylin really wants to have like that family, type of situation happening. And, you look all around and you're getting older and everyone's married with kids and happy, and you're just like, why can't I have that? So I hope she stays patient, and don't ever hold yourself up for a man, because there's plenty of men out there. But if she really does feel a certain way towards him, I completely understand where her thought process is coming from, I want to say. So that's pretty much it for my Teen Mom Talk Tuesday. I love you guys so much, and I will see you on my next one. Bye, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.